So Chuck Wendig is trending again. Why? Because he has decided to go after Internet Archive, and he, along with a bunch of his blue check mark buddies, they've decided to shut that thing down. Now, the funny thing about old Chuck is that he does not like consumers at all to begin with. I mean, anybody that steps out of line, man, he's going to compare you to a couple of rat turds on a fillet or some dubious pubes in a salad. But hey, he's been celebrated because he's gone after Orange Man bad. Today we're going to talk about all of that and more because why not? Why not indeed? So hey there. Now before we begin, this is our second comic, Another Case for the Littlest Umbrella. Link is in the description, and we only have 2 days and change left. Now this is how we maintain sponsor-free living. We're beholden to no one, and we challenge a mainstream with people like Chuck Wendig in it. We also shut down the crazies that want to shut us down. We make a good product to boot. More on that at the end of the video, and thank you for checking it out. So if you're wondering why Chuck Wendig is trending, well, here's a wonderful article on that. It's time to archive. The Internet Archive publishers, this includes Chuck Wendig in this, are suing the Internet Archive for its emergency library, putting the whole project on danger. Fun times. Shutting down the freaking Internet Archive. Man, what great people there. So 5 of the world's largest publishers sued the Internet Archive, claiming its open access digital library is a mass infringement on their copyright. The move puts the Internet's most important archive in danger and has at least gotten some data hoarders talking about archiving the Internet Archive and what that would even look like. Now, in this lawsuit, there's a bunch of publishing houses listed and 5 Doe defendants. And one of those people that's involved in this and a huge proponent of this suit is one Chuck Wendig. Now, all of these people are claiming that the Internet Archive is a piracy website, and yeah, can't have that thing around. So in March, the Internet Archive set up a new service for people displaced from library and educational access due to a current social situation called the National Emergency Library. Nearly 1.4 million books are available in full for anyone to download and read without a wait list until the end of June or the end of this certain thing going on within the U.S., according to an announcement on their website. Now, while damages haven't been set with this, the publishers could claim up to $150,000 in statutory damages per infringement for each of the 1.4 million copyright works in the emergency library. So that's $150,000 for each of the 1.4 million books. That's insane. They're also demanding a preliminary and permanent injunction of the Internet Archive and anyone involved in it from reproducing and distributing more works, and that all current copyrighted copies on the site be destroyed, effectively shutting down the entire library. The existence of these works online caught the ire of Copyright Alliance in March, which called the project vile, as reported by Torrent Freak. Now, these publishers are taking to the nonprofit Internet Archive to court over it. IA's actions grossly exceed legitimate library services, do violence to the Copyright Act, do violence to, I mean, look at that statement, and constitute willful digital piracy on an industrial scale, the publishers state in the complaint. IA creates nothing. IA plays no role in the hard work of researching, writing, or publishing the works of, for that matter, in creating or sustaining the overall publishing ecosystem and its distinct partnerships and markets. The move puts one of the Internet's largest repositories of knowledge in peril. Over on Data Hoarders subreddit, threads have been started about what it would take to archive that archive, which holds dozens of petabytes of information and is constantly growing. Now, academics have been saying for years that IA must be more resilient by creating backups of the backups and storing them in other locations. When Donald Trump was elected president, the Internet Archive announced that it was making a backup in Canada. Now, what's fascinating about the Donald Trump comment is one of Chuck Wendig's biggest success out there involves getting fired from Marvel because of comments about Donald Trump. These are them, and man, look at this, and look at exactly what gets him fired here. So Chuck Wendig, there will be renewed calls for civility. Ignore them. They ask for civility as a way for you to grant them complicity in what they do. Civility is for normalcy. When things are normal and working as intended, civility is part of maintaining balance. But when that balance is gone, civility does not help return it, but rather destabilize it further, because your civility gives them cover for evil. So, don't be civil. Note, this isn't the same as calling for violence, but it is suggesting that you should not be ashamed for using vigorous, vulgar language, or for standing up in disobedience, or for demanding acknowledgement and action in whatever way you must. AKA, we're not calling for violence here, but if there's violence as part of this, yeah, that's okay. Good times there. F Trump, he goes on, because he's just an ugly, fake gold mask they put on this thing. F the GOP. F that blubbering, bristling frat boy judge. F McConnell, Ryan, Grassley, Collins, every last one of them. F them for how they've shamed victims and helped dismantle democracy. They will tell you to smile, that we need to get back to business, that we got to heal the rift, and blah, blah, blah. But that's the desire of a savvy bully who wants you to stop crying after he hits you, who wants you not to fight back. But you can cry and you can fight back. And of course, that's not a call for violence. They can eat all of them. They can eat a boot covered in fun. Winter is coming, you callous F-necks, you prolapsed a-holes, you grotesque monsters, you ist and rapists and wretched abusers, you vengeful petty horrors. Fun guy, huh? Side note, some will tell you to be civil because of our rage and scorn will fuel the other side. But F the double standard in both of its ears. Well, if they hadn't said those sassy words and demonstrated anger at our whittled down democracy, I for a second might have been convinced not to eat this baby, but fee-fi on you, your incivility, maybe eat this baby. Spoiler warning, they were always going to eat that baby. P.S. It's okay if you're not okay. Yeah, Donald Trump indeed. Funny that the people that turned Chuck Wendig into a hero then are the same people that are going to suffer because of this stuff now. Now, they also talk about the Internet Archive's Wayback Machine. I like the Wayback Machine as well. I hate to see that thing disappear, but that is in danger too. So they talk about backing up everything and how backups, they haven't been around for a while. And in response to all of this, the Internet Archive's founder wrote a short post acknowledging the lawsuit. As a library, the Internet Archives requires books and lends them, as libraries have always done. Publishers suing libraries for lending books, in this case protected digitalized versions, and while schools and libraries are closed, is not in anyone's interest. Interesting, isn't it? Chuck Wendig involved in a lawsuit, trying to shut down libraries, trying to destroy one because, oh my God, that's infringing on my rights. Interesting times, isn't it? Interesting times indeed. Now, this is one of those guys, when consumers get irritated, he throws around wording like MRA, incel, Gamergate, Comicsgate, sad puppies, real Star Wars fans, all of that being white supremacy and toxic masculinity. He loves, too, to tell you that those jerks out there, they get all of the attention, because if you sprinkle a couple of rat turds on a fillet or some dubious pubes on a salad, yeah, that's going to spoil the meal. And the S-birds are loud because, well, some of them are fake. Some of them are alpha S-birds monetizing the rage of lesser S-birds. Some of them are real deal bigots, and all of them fear change. So we push back. We block, we seal them off, cast of Amontillado style. Yeah, so this is the guy that's out there shutting things down, but he's had a lot of this for the longest time because people, they want to pretend that this guy somehow, in some way, is a good guy out there. Why is he a good guy? Because he throws around the right buzzword. Now, what's fascinating about this stuff, too, is if you go through and you look at all of the trending out there, the people that are taking up for this guy are blue check marks. They're people that share the same political mindset as this guy. And the fascinating thing about those folks is they're the same ones that tell you that they're out here to help the little guy out. They're the same people that are out here fighting the mega corporations and the monoliths, and yet they're trying to shut down Internet Archive because it shares books like a lending library. And again, it's not doing it open-endedly. It's sharing everything the way it is because libraries and schools are shut down now. That, I think, says plenty about the blue check marks out there. It says plenty about their hypocrisy. But then again, when did that ever matter to many of those folks? I would encourage you, too, to go and get a feel for exactly how people are feeling about this stuff. Like I said, you find the blue check marks in there defending it, but every time you find a blue check mark talking about this stuff versus, your everyday people talking about it, yeah, it's really telling. But anyway, you tell me what you think. So to close, this is our second comic book, Another Case for the Littlest Umbrella. Link is in the description, and it is running out of time. Closes down Sunday. Desperately need your help. This is 40 pages of all ages, Lovecrafty and goodness. We are closing in on 6 figures here, and it'll be interesting to see where we land. This stuff, too, it makes us beholden to no one. We can go out, we can maintain sponsor-free living. We can challenge people like Chuck Wendig, who are the mainstream personified. Those people, they need challengers. We can put together good products, and the people that want to shut us down, we can laugh at them while doing so. I want to say, too, thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. You make these endeavors possible. Without you, none of it works. So thank you sincerely, and I'll leave you at that. Thank you.